Hello, ACA. My name is Mr. Andrew. I'm the head of school here at ACA, and it is my absolute delight to welcome you back to another school year. Our virtue theme for this year is going to be courtesy, and the idea actually came from something that our sixth grade students did at the end of essentially every one of their classes last year, and that is that they thanked their teachers for their work as they filed out. Mrs. Moxie was the first to bring this to my attention, and she described how disorienting it was to have all of these 11 and 12-year-olds just saying thank you. It had a way of sort of reorienting her work and allowing her to operate from a posture of gratitude and thankfulness. So as a school, we want to spend some time talking about what it means to act courteously toward one another. We've learned that courtesy actually has to do with how a person acts at court. And so the idea then is that you have to know what your court requires of you. What are the virtues of a particular place? So I want to share just 3 things about the court of ACA that will tell us something about what it means to act courteously here. The first is that at Atlanta Classical Academy, we operate out of love and not out of fear. I remember my very first teaching job was at a big public high school in Michigan, and everyone in that school was afraid of everyone else. Students were afraid of teachers and vice versa. Teachers were afraid of parents and parents feared teachers. I was afraid of my principal, who was afraid of the superintendent, who was afraid of the governor, and on it went. At ACA, we are a place that operates out of love. Love for you all, for our students, for the material itself, in the belief that to know a thing deeply and truly is to love it. The second thing that is true of the court of ACA is that we exist to create communities and not personalities. I think it's easy for schools, and even ours, to only hold up as excellent those students who are at the top of the academic heap, who are the best athletes, who are the best performers. But we are invested in the lives of every single one of our students. We think that every mind and heart is precious and deserving of our full and absolute attention. And so at this place, we exist to create a community of learners and not one that sort of distinguishes one student apart from everyone else. And finally, and this one's a little strange, but at this school, we believe that teachers are dignified by their work and not victimized by it. Another strange thing about my very first year as a teacher was that everyone apologized to me for having to do my job. And I was deeply insulted by this. I thought, I chose to be a teacher. I chose to be an educator. You don't need to tell me that the fact that I teach middle school English means that my lot is the worst of all men. I was on a vacation this summer with my family, and I reached a point with my 3-year-old where I just couldn't abide him anymore. I was frustrated. I turned to my wife and began to lament the fact that we had to travel with this young child. And she said to me, "You know you're not a victim of your son, right?" And it was a moment of real striking clarity. It's like great parenting on her part. But it made me sort of reconsider my work, that in fact I had this cherished and beautiful responsibility to care for this young boy who I really do love deeply. I feel like I need to clarify this. But we think about teaching in the same way. Of course it is challenging, but it is the most honorable and worthy work to be responsible for the intellectual and moral formation of your children. So we think those 3 things basically capture the court of Atlanta Classical Academy. And all year we're going to be talking about occasions for courtesy, ways that we can greet each other, acknowledge each other, and slowly transform this campus and make it a place where we are in love with this court and we express its virtues every day. It's going to be a great year, and I look forward to seeing a lot of you.